Abuja President Mahama or the code of conduct Abba.
This code represents a bold declaration of the standards we must uphold as servants of the public.
Code of conduct in Chile very simple. How a man for what you are as the ministers, chief of staff, CEOs of various government institutions in Eka. Obia President Mahama in the team appointed was a becan but one among Jumano. This code of conduct now. A call for those people. No?
Though the document often uses the term minister, it applies broadly to deputy ministers as well, to presidential staffers, to chief executive officers and their deputies, to members of the Council of State, to board members, and other political appointees within the executive arm of government. And I include myself. It applies to my vice president, myself, the president, the chief of staff, the executive secretary, all advisors, all of us are bound by this code of conduct.
The code of conduct in how was your president, no, and I at least what this government now. How is your conduct?
You are not in office to wield power. You are here to serve the people of Ghana.
No may happen if this idea be true, for example, like ABA work official government business be outside. Obana ya chow ABA gold plate. Obana se nebuono according to the President Mahama Diabano, nebuono bro 20,000 Ghana cedis. Well, and you're there. I buying it there and other stuff.
This document is not a ceremonial one. It is a living and enforceable framework that outlines what is expected of every individual appointed under this administration.
Now, Mahama code of conduct, no normal for na basically kind of Ghana for at least here when it comes to accountability and transparency. Back on ASA, President Mahama say any situation be a create conflict between our personal interest any juma or yeno. Say either or avoid it and as you declare.
Any situation that creates a conflict between your personal interest and your official duties must be avoided or disclosed.
For example, be a company we saying person who company be juma na ministry be juma. But be a maker say no, no interest what that company no stakes be our share we shareholder of that company no. And I'm so hold the ministry na na so more that ministry no. Ultimately that company no contract and every be at say say be ya for conflict of interest be ama NPP pension no mo pa.
This include holding stakes in companies that deal with government or with your ministries, using insider knowledge for your personal benefit, awarding contracts to entities that are connected to yourself or your close family.
Because it will be an unfair advantage for that company, no? If there's a competition between the company now with stakes room, no, and other companies, what I say. Because I'm going to go back, that company no some insider information, yeah. A company that contract now, you know, now it will be an unfair advantage to the other companies that are competing for the same thing.
If you're a dormant partner in any business engaging with the government, even outside your ministry, you must disclose it in writing to this office.
Second thing is that President Mahama said the appointees are for you. More prohibited, just a more new coin. Some accept gifts and favors from companies and individuals. Our interest in governmental decisions.
We all know our cultural fondness for gifts, but we must now draw a clear line between appreciation and influence. Appointees are prohibited from accepting gifts or favors, especially from companies or individuals with interest in governmental decisions.
This is over here and run a code of conduct in the buy. No, President Mahama say actually 2 brand new cars. I'm style. This car look nice. Nice. But President Mahama declares will be the chair and again was on the car number. A buying, so buying for year for more buying juma. So kind of leadership by example. And I'm like, if say 2 cars will be at the chair, there's no way in hell. No way. Send me the car and be my buying. Dabida, I'm happy. I will declare so be the chairman, but I still use them. But Mahama right now in here cars, because or come be the between in the and again, if so here car not so not class according to me to Nini Ibrahim Mahama can buy any car. Any car. Well, you know, reasonable car for Ghana roads. I'm a Nini Mahama, which will be way easier. What I say. So that point also make very good sense, Ankasa.
Appointees are prohibited from accepting gifts or favors, especially from companies or individuals with interest in governmental decisions.
13 they say President Mahama says small ma okoba bia evans or Ghana ya small se Burkina okoye no Burkina president watch out this prime bottle no value exceed 20,000 Ghana cedis ya say wo ye we dia na say wadwuma ende a okwa so jama that office no unless the president nankasa explicitly hwere ma say ade we na Burkina president de ma no ubetimi afa say na tie dia ubetimi afa if not that okwa enya odia. If the value no is less than 20,000 Ghana cedis, then
if a gift is received during an official engagement and its estimated value exceeds 20,000 Ghana cedis, it must be declared. And upon leaving office, the gift must be surrendered unless expressly permitted to retain it by the president.
The fourth point, President Mahama say, government funds and as an internal the ministry ne bia maye to boa ya bansika munni wo kwaso betimi esu sesika no e dia to talk gas and hampers ama mo workers and staff during the bia Christmas Easter and the keka ho no.
As for hampers and gift items, no government funds, including internally generated funds, are to be used to purchase or distribute hampers.
The only exception is a gift ya bia wo dey man no. Sa gift ni kind of normal a modest say wo dey boni pa na baso for Juma Papa waye and now say bia say nipa no e retirement and be etisa.
The only exception is modest gifts to staff as a reward for excellence or retirement.
And this code of conduct no all the appointees in yana say mo live by this code. Na say mo live by this code mo be hye mo ho de na mo hye mo ho ma.
And I include myself. It applies to my vice president, myself, the president, the chief of staff, the executive secretary, all advisors, all of us are bound by this code of conduct.
Nye betimi ato ni say either say be suspend or ye be nemu ahyemu and na say ye be yiwadi completely.
The code sets out consequences for breach, public apology, from public apology to reprimand, to suspension, to resignation, or ultimately termination.
After everything, Honorable Julius Debra, Chief of Staff, Babeka the other appointees, and say, "Where did ye the amount said this so? Na say when niso na say hitoa abusia stone boy besie. Na so jejiri nya happy wie. Na so be yes okay o President Mahama de minim no. Say menene be ko menene be kasante ase be ba." Also forget about it. That time na be President Mahama no. Obeka to say ono kro nim ni enti Julius Debra yes Only Julius nkonko kasa. Yeah. And then, your fate will be decided. Some people want to follow this code of conduct and you will be fine.
Colleagues, the only time you will not be able to reach the president is when we are about removing you. I've heard some of you say, "Oh, he's my friend. I go to his house." Trust me, even if you meander your way to reach him through his driver, his ADC, the president will tell you, "As for this Julius, this issue came up, and I told him to wait. Look at what he's done. But he's written the letter already." So, my colleagues.
And one most important thing, I think is at this kind of thing, Shemuno, and our President Mahama Bekan say, I think it's on my deadline, say what our point to be or up to the end of last month to declare our assets. Now, so when declare our assets now, why should I bet me lose a Juman or the Asha?
On the 18th February 2025, I set a deadline of 31st March 2025 for all appointees who are taking office or being nominated at the time to declare their assets.
The deadline was set for that. Na busia passing and still now some of the ministers and the appointees na busia munyan declare more assets yet because they declaring your assets and it say adebia wo bia no kira ban say okay anyway ya media before say mba assuming office next cap for example that my bank account to me so declare everything and some of the people abusia they don't want to do that because of that and a binom abusia munya for mo de mai President Mahama say mo I set that deadline date now want me meet that deadline date and declare more assets some 3 months salary, more forfeit. Which means that 3 months you are not going to get paid. And that scanner, You bet you are correct, but say we donated that scandal. The Kokoma Mahama Cares Fund that were created the Ghana Healthcare, An
update provided by the Auditor General to my office indicate that some of you failed to meet that deadline. For all those who are appointed or nominated before 31st March 2025 and failed to meet the deadline, you are to forfeit 3 months of salary to be donated to the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, named after me, Mahama Cares.
On top of say was any appointees in Yano, mo 1 month salary, some donated to the Mahama Care Fund, send a baby to me a 1 month for more, serious sicknesses now, Bujon Munya, Ayareshe, a bit me a boamo Munya Yareshe. Until it's a one declare what says before the deadline now, we bet you have 4 months. We declare what says before the 4 months now. Oh, dear, 1 month to pay.
In addition to 1 month salary that I've asked all appointees to donate to the Mahama Cares Trust Fund.
And looking at the benefits, I'll be holding that position or the amount. I'll be at 1 month and now 4 months. It's what? I say 6 months, mama. Yeah.
So it means that those who omitted to declare your assets by the date, you are paying 4 months salary to Mahama Cares. However, if by close of day Wednesday, 7th May 2025, any of you still fails to declare your assets, count yourself automatically dismissed.
Tap send. The numero uno mobile app. I will betting just send this car command off for Ghana. So Italy, Germany, Europe, USA, even Dubai. Now person send this car the brand off for Ghana. App where so use tap send. Apple App Store and Google Play Store na download right now for 2 phones. Because how they send this car command off for BR. Until we levy, exchange rate in was so. It's fast, it's secure, it's all the good things and mouth trouble. Almost security a top notch. And I first time I could download the app now you see they send this car. Ubo code Magraheb Shema. Depending on baby I want. You better see a chowska. I'm at the ska was sending on. There was just only starting use to tap sender. Make conform our neck. If you know more mobile wallet, I was your bet me a load do no with ska. It's a time so say we send this kind of command for Ghana. Na nyafe na be connected to bank. Dabi. Oh tap wallet no. The fast na is what send ko. Tap send the abusia mean conform enough. This a when you see tap send ya. Ko Apple App Store and Google Play Store na ko download no right now.
Tap send. Papa no.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel for videos like this every day. Till we meet again, abusia. Adios.